Hey everyone, Phantom here from Phantom Reaper, and today is the start of a new What If series. Now don't worry, I haven't forgotten about What If Deku was Kamen Rider Bufa. I'm just taking a break from making it. But I do have a new idea I got from reading another fanfic on what to do in the future. But I'll reveal that to you when I feel like continuing it. I just left it on a positive note. Anyways, this what if was suggested to me by a commenter who I'll put up on screen. And he has been suggesting a lot of great ideas, such as what if Kafka was Ultraman's reincarnation. Now, I haven't seen Ultraman, so I might not do that for a while. And a lot of you guys have recommended some really good ideas, such as, let me just get my notes here. What if Deku no, wait, no. What if Yuji became Kamen Rider Saber? Or Ruby was Kamen Rider Selba? Or what if Deku became Kamen Rider Gotcha? Or Gav? Again, really good ideas, and I do need to watch those respective series to get a better understanding. The reason why I did Bufo is because Geats is actually the first Kamen Rider show I've seen. I was aware of Kamen Rider, and I do know a bit about it from watching History of Kamen Rider, but that can only get you so far. Now, I could have gone back to watch the history of Kuuga for this video, but I decided I would use this as an excuse to watch all of Kuuga. Right now, I just finished episode 8 yesterday, at the time of recording this, and let's just say I really am enjoying it. Anyways, this is what if Tanjiro became Kamen Rider Kuuga. Became a keyword. When a character, whenever I use the word became in these titles, that means the character is still themselves, they're not a reincarnation, they just gain the powers. That's the reason why What If Deku was Kamen Rider Bufa was a reincarnation one. Because I knew that there was a logical ruse to bring you in. You can't tell, but I'm smiling like Aizawa right now. Anyways, here's the rules for this one. And more will be added if any of you can suggest more, which really would help. Anyways, Tanjiro finds Kuga's belt 2 years before the main story. He starts in a cave. You know, like how it first begins. The Grongi don't appear until much later on and not in order. And also, they're enemies of the demons. Because they don't care if they're human or not, they want them dead. So you'll see a lot of them fighting most of the time. And Tanjiro still learns breathing styles to help him in combat, specifically with some of the Kuuga forms that use weapons. And when Tanjiro is wearing the Kuuga armor, he will be able to kill demons via neck or the Kuuga marketing that the Grongi have. And as for the motorcycle, we don't know. If you guys want me to add the motorcycle, I'll think of some way. Maybe Kuuga in his past life had a motorcycle. Like, it was a horse, but then he turned into a motorcycle and went vroom vroom. Yeah. Anyways, let's begin. So our story starts off not at the beginning of Demon Slayer, but 2 years before. Why 2 years? I don't know, I just thought about it. We see Tanjiro in the forest just cutting some wood to make charcoal to sell. And he's kind of going pretty far to get as much wood as he can. And he stumbles upon a cave. Now, he does ignore this because he has no reason to, but he then notices it begins to rain. And he's quite far from home, so he decides to take shelter in the cave. As he's going inside, he accidentally slips on a bunch of on the slips and then kind of tumbles down a few steps. Ow! Ow! Well, that hurt. Wait, are those stairs? He then quickly looks around and notices that what he is in was most likely an old shrine of some kind. Now, he is quite curious to see what happens, so he decides to venture a bit deeper into this cavern temple. Now, he tries not to go very far because he doesn't really have much light to work with. But he does end up reaching a room with what appears to be a coffin. This is someone's burial ground. I wonder who it could be. He he moves towards the coffin and notices some strange thing on top of it. Not wanting to disturb the coffin, which he realizes is made of stone, and wanting to just dust it a bit. He tries to see who it belongs to, but inadvertently touches the bell. Oh! He quickly moves his hand away, thinking it could be a cursed item for all he knows, but the belt just suddenly disappears. What? Where did it go? Oh, did I? Must have been a lot of dust that made it look like this. And while he's thinking about it, he decides to head back to see if the rain has let out. It still hasn't, but it is a bit. It is kind of lowering down, so he's able to wait for a bit, and then it stops raining. He decides to go and leave and head back home to prepare the charcoal. Unbeknownst to him, however, the coffin starts moving somewhat. But it then quickly stops. So when Tanjiro gets back, his families greet him, ask him if he's okay or if he's wet. He says he's fine, but he did say he found a strange temple or cave. And while he and his siblings sit wide-eyed listening to his story about it. And Tanjiro, afraid that what he did might have cursed them, decides not to tell his family about that part. After all, it was just dust that looked like a belt or a rope that you put around your waist. He wasn't really sure, but he didn't really think much of it and eventually forgot about it. Is what I would say, but Tanjiro for the next 2 years would sometimes have these strange dreams of a warrior fighting against these monsters he's never seen before. The first time this happened, he thought it was a nightmare, but the more he saw them, the more he got used to them. He doesn't know why he kept having these dreams, but it must have been that belt. But when he tried to go back to that cave, he couldn't find it, no matter how hard he tried. But one thing was common in this dream. The monsters would call that warrior Kuuga. Or if you're Sakuda, Fuga. uh, Anyways, let us head back into 2 years to when Tanjiro sees his whole family fucking die. Actually, doesn't see him die. You all get what I mean. He's quickly carrying Nezuko through the snow, trying to get her to a doctor, when all of a sudden, she just launches at him and starts attacking him. Tanjiro, using the axe he has, is able to hold her off, and he's tried his best to reason with Nezuko. This isn't you, Nezuko! Please! I don't know what's wrong, but calm down! Why did it sound like that? Anyways, Then Gyu shows up and nearly decapitates Nezuko. And this, but Tanjiro is able to dodge, but gets rolled over into a tree. Why are you protecting it? This is my sister, Nezuko! Nezuko! You call that thing your sister? Gyu then proceeds to run and grabs Nezuko. And the whole scene plays out as usual, but instead of groveling, Tanjiro just runs up to him. And Gyu is about to dodge, but then all of a sudden he notices something appear on Tanjiro's waist. There's another demon? And when Tanjiro reaches him, due to him being distracted, and punches him, that's when it appears. Kuuga's armor. But the white one, not the red one. Not yet. And then Tanjiro also knows this and goes, What? What is this? Gyu, taking this as an opportunity, quickly just kicks him away. And just... However, this also lets Nezuko escape. So, before she can get away, Gyu kicks her again, knocking her out to make it easier for him to decapitate her. But as he's going forward, he notices someone blocking his path. A being wearing an armor of white, nearly blending into the snow. If it wasn't for his glowing red eyes and his fancy looking belt. Kamen Rider Kuuga is here, people. Woo! So, you're also a demon. What? What are you... What? Where did this come from? Wait, from the temple. Gyu not giving Tanjiro a chance, quickly runs up and tries to decapitate him. But Tanjiro is able to block it, and then just knocks Gyu back. He's strong. But even he's confused. And Tanjiro, just standing there, looking flabbergasted. You can't tell because of the mask. He quickly turns and sees Nezuko and kneels down, trying to see if she's okay. Nezuko! Wake up! Now, Gyu, seeing this, it kind of reminds him... No, it reminds him of when his sister died. Now, he still believes Tanjiro is a demon, but something's odd. He doesn't look like any demon he's seen. And during that moment, the belt deactivates, and Tanjiro reverts back to his normal self. Gyu, deciding to question them to see if this is some new evolution or something, quickly knocks Tanjiro out and puts the whole bamboo shoe on Nezuko. And when Tanjiro eventually wakes up, both he and Nezuko are under some shading, so in case they actually are demons, means they don't get disintegrated immediately, because Gyu wants to question them. Okay, you're awake. I have some questions I need to ask you. Questions? You tried to kill my sister! And I noticed that you're not exactly demon. Your sister seems to have some form of her humanity left. But as for you, you're completely different. Oh, that armor! Wait, where did that belt go? That's why I was asking you. Where is it? I don't really know much of it myself. So, did you get turned into a demon by Muzan as well? Who? The Demon King. No. That was the person who attacked your family. Tanjiro, hearing this, remains silent. If you want to save your sister, my best guess is to try and find him. But I don't really know myself. But again, that armor. What is that all about? This is the first time I'm seeing this happen. Ever since I touched that weird coffin in that cave temple, I've been having visions of a warrior fighting against monsters. Were those monsters demons? They looked very bizarre. But what do demons normally look like? They mainly look human most of the time, with some more inhuman parts. Well, they were humanoid in shape, but no, they looked more like animals that were like humans. It's hard to explain. Hmm. Whatever it is, tell me, do you crave blood? Eh? Well, I guess that has my answer. You're not a demon. Oh, then what? Maybe that belt gives you a special armor that you can use. I'm not so sure myself, but I've contacted my old master. If you want to help us, he can teach you breathing styles. That is one of the many ways of killing demons. Thank you, Gyu. Thank you, Gyu-san. May I ask why where did he go? Gyu has quickly left. So, we cut to Tanjiro making his way to... Damn it, what was his name again? Give me a second, I'll be right back. Urodaki, yeah. Great guy. Now, where was I? Yeah, he's making his way to Urodaki, and the whole training thing happens. But when it gets to the rock part, and when Tanjiro is fighting against Sabo, the armor activates again, and it's still white this time. Sabo seeing this is unfazed, cause he dead. And Tanjiro still loses in the end. This armor again. Where'd he go? Oh, he left. Tanjiro quickly turns and sees Makomo looking at him. I gotta say, that's some weird armor you have. Oh, it comes from this belt I have. I don't know much about it myself, to be honest. Hmm. Do you think you can kill demons with it? I never tried that, actually. Hmm. Well, why don't you? Hmm? Come on, pick up your sword. Okay. When Tanjiro tries to pick up the Nichiren blade, he kind of he snaps it. Oh. Wow. Oh. So I can't fight like this. Oh, oh, oh. What if you try using breathing styles with your fists? Is that even possible? Not with that attitude, it isn't. Or is? So, instead of training with a Nichiren sword, Tanjiro begins training with the Kuuga armor. He's still gonna have a Nichiren sword and use it, but when he's in the Kuuga armor, he's gonna be he's gonna be making his own blend of using martial art breathing styles. Like how a lot of people believe Akaza would have made himself the Nichiren Knuckle Dusters if he was still a human, and if he, in the the Demon Slayer swapped to you. That's a really popular thing now that I think about it. Undertale, Demon Slayer. Who else am I missing? MHA. Yeah. Anyway, so while Tanjiro is also learning how to use a Nichiren blade in the off chance that he can't access his rider armor, he's also making his own version of breathing styles but for martial arts. He does this by including various types of kicks and punches in a, and how he does it is, you know how with breathing styles are just swinging the sword fancily? He tries to replicate this but with his body. And soon it comes time for the Demon Slayer exam. Now Tanjiro isn't wearing the armor because he's not gonna wear that in public. People will be terrified. So he gets to the exam, and the twins are doing their whole thing, explaining the rules of this test and how they'll all be stuck in a forest filled with demons. This makes the UA entrance exam look like a pushover. This is how real men fight. By actually fighting against monsters. Yeah. Anyway, so Tanjiro is doing his best to stay alive, because that's the main point of the test, to see how long you can survive. And he's doing pretty well. He had an encounter with a demon or two, but was able to deal with them. Not everyone is so lucky. But just when thinks he's in the clear, suddenly the hand demon appears chasing someone. And he also asks Tanjiro, "You there, what year is it?" It's not the era you're from, I assume. Yeah. He just gets mad. But then he notices his master and goes, "You work with your Urudaki student. He's the bitch that put me in here. I make sure to kill each and every one of his students." And Tanjiro just gets mad, but before he can do anything, suddenly a strange monster appears. It suddenly crashes down on the hand demon, knocking him backwards. And the creature looks very much like a bat or a vampire. And if you all are familiar with this, it's unidentified life form number 3. I'm not using number 1, I'm saving him for another time. So Tanjiro, seeing this, goes, "I don't think that's even a demon. It doesn't smell like one." Sorry y'all had to hear that, but anyways. The being turns around and then begins charging at Tanjiro. And Tanjiro tries to slash it, but his sword isn't doing anything. But he is his best to switch onto the defensive. And the bat is just relentless. It keeps trying to come at him. And I'm only referring to him as a bat for now until the cast decide to use the unidentified lifeform name, or Grongi. Now Tanjiro is on the edge of the ropes, or no, that's not how that saying goes. But he's struggling to keep up, and then his sword breaks. So, deciding he has no other option, he attacks the bat to activate the Kuuga armor, because so far he doesn't really know how to activate it manually. But he does know it activates in stressful situations. But instead of the white armor he's gotten used to, it's red. A beautiful luscious red. God, why did that sound so dirty? I need some holy water. Anyways, he keeps attacking it till he has the full armor on. The bat then is knocked back and goes, Kuuga. What? Why is he calling me that? Wait, is that what this is? Why is it red this time? And just before he could take more, the bat attacks him again, determined to kill Kuuga. Kill Kamen Rider Kuuga. Kill Kamen Rider Kuuga. And since Tanjiro was caught off guard, he gets knocked into a bunch of trees. And he's sustained some broken bones, but he gets back up and then gets into a fighting stance. He then proceeds to use his altered versions of the breathing styles as a way to try and combat him. Fighting breathing style. First form. Lake of Ray. I gotta think of some names real quick. Hold on, so give me a second. Flowing Fist of Water. How he does this is he launches a jab and then follows it up with a hook to the abdomen. And this kind of staggers the creature a bit, but it's relentless and just begins lashing out at Tanjiro, trying its best to try and kill him. And Tanjiro, thinking he needs to find a way to defeat it because it's very durable, is then hit by a sudden flurry of hands. Because let's remember, the hand demon's still alive. Why are you working with the humans? You're supposed to be a demon. As for you, I don't know what you are. But I'm not gonna let you disrespect me like that. Keep in mind that a lot of people will mistake Tanjiro for a demon. And so the hand demon and the unidentified life form tree are now battling. Tanjiro is just using this time to think of a quick plan. And meanwhile, the hand demon's launching many hands at the bat, trying to apprehend him, but due to the fact it's flying, quite quick, he isn't really having the best time. So it does eventually get close enough to the hand demon to bite it, but it then begins spitting out its blood. Like, it is disgusting. In fact, it recoils back and just screeches at him. They then continue to fight for a bit longer. With how tech the hand demon is, that sounded so wrong. The bat can't the unidentified life form number 3 can't really do much, but due to its speed and its durability, the hand demon can't do much as well. So they're at a stalemate until Tanjiro now with a plan, decides to engage. He decides to deal with the hand demon first because he doesn't really know much about this unidentified life form. So he proceeds to just jump and performs the first Heisei Rider kick. I know it might seem a bit too early, but anyways. He then connects with the hand demon, and the force of said kick causes the hand demon to be launched into the ground and then dragged through it, while Tanjiro is just still kicking him. they end up crashing through several trees, but the neck of the hand demon is still strong. But then it begins to start tearing. The hand demon's like, no, not like this, not like this. But it's too late, because as soon as they crash into a stone wall, the neck is finally decapitated. Followed by an explosion, which stars Tanjiro. What the? What was that? The head of the hand demon is then rolling across the ground. And he's thinking to himself, damn, Brett, you're gonna be. Think you can act all cocky when you beat me? But then Tanjiro de-transforms and just looks at the demon saddened. You never wanted to be a demon, did you? And then we have the whole hand demons flashback and stuff. I really enjoyed that when I first saw it. It was a nice thing. And the hand demon slowly disintegrates. And Urodaki feels as if a great weight has been lifted off his shoulders. And Sabo and Bill and the others can finally move on. But before Tanjiro can relax, the unidentified life form number 3 shows up again and is about to attack him, but then then some sunlight shows up and it starts screeching. And Tanjiro notices it isn't burning per se, it's more like it's melting. Granted, so the unidentified life form then proceeds to just book it and leaves. So that concluded Tanjiro's test. So he meets up with all the others who survived, and they all get their Nichiren swords, the Nichiren arm, ore, and their crows. And when Tanjiro's walking back, Nezuko bursts out of Uradaki's house and just runs up to give him a big hug. And he's really happy about this. Like, he's glad to see that Nezuko is okay, and Uradaki's glad to see that his student has returned. And then we cut to when the swordsmith shows up, the one who could solo Busan. He brings Tanjiro his sword, and then they get the whole black blade situation. And Urodaki then asks a question. So, young man, find anything more about that build of yours? The swordsmith, who I'm not gonna look up his name right now because I'm trying to finish this, goes, Wait. Build? What is this? Show me, young man. Tanjiro goes, Okay. Well, I discovered some new things about it. For one, I have an increased regeneration. And this time, when I was fighting against a strange monster, the armor was red. Strange monster. It didn't look like a demon that I have seen so far. Tell me what it looked like. Right, it looked like a monstrous bat. It had this weird charm on its arm. But and it was about to attack me after I finished off a very tough demon. But when the sunlight came up, it began screeching and ran away. Was it burnt in any way? I couldn't really tell. Oh, hold on. None of that's important. Show me the belt, young man. Oh, alright, I'll... And Tanjiro just kind of makes a pouting face while trying to activate it. So, you haven't really found a way to activate it consistently? I've been trying to. I think I'm making progress. Oh, and I also made my own fighting styles by using the breathing styles. Oh, impressive. Okay. I'm gonna try. This time, Tanjiro gets access to the bell, and then via instinct, he yells, Henshin! And then turns into Kamen Rider Kuuga. Urodaki's unfazed. He's seen a lot of shit before, but the sword just goes, portable armor, and it's a beautiful red, matching your hair, most likely. Where did you find such a thing? I'm not really sure about the details. What? Was it not forged? Tanjiro's shaking his head. Oh, okay then. I wish I'll be seeing you around. You better not break that sword, young man. And the swordsmith then leaves. Both and soon both Tanjiro and Nezuko take their leave as well, with Tanjiro thanking Urodaki for his teachings. And Urodaki going, nah, no worries. Safe travels. And as soon as Tanjiro and Nezuko are leaving, Tanjiro's crow informs him of a mission he has to take. And so they run off to do their first demon slaying. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I know this might seem shorter than the other ones, but I'm gonna be honest, I was struggling a bit to do this video. It also didn't help the fact that for some reason I decided to write a chapter for a new fanfic I made called If Only I Wasn't Late, which is a crossover between Kamen Rider X8 and My Hero Academia. Well, it's very light because the only Kamen Rider we see is Kronos, although heavily altered. It only took me around a day or some hours to complete that first chapter, but I'm getting off topic. Either way, we have a new challenge, because I am not very familiar with Demon Slayer or What Ifs, because mainly I've just seen My Hero ones. And some One Piece ones, such as What If Luffy was in the Marines? But either way, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll be seeing you all around. Bye.